Okay, so you've been doing a little work. Great, Pisces. That's good to see. Now there's a little bit of consequences to releasing and creating, as there always is, but I want to commend you on making some changes. It does look like you've made some changes. All signs really have not really had the choice not to change. So you looks like you have embraced that change. Let's start at the beginning. This is the Six of Wands, and wands are motion, fire, ideas, movement. And this is like heralding a new idea. So you may have gotten a promotion at work, gotten some positive attention. Something looks like it's very healing to you, but it does look like you have made a decision about a situation, a project, a job that actually is working to your favor by making those changes. The green here is kind of lighting up for me. You have grown a lot with making this decision, and it does look like you had resisted this for quite a while, but it has brought some healing energy to you. And if it is a new project, it looks like really focusing in on how you want it to look, and putting your creative essence into it, that it does look like it has brought you some positive attention. So it may have been a project at work that you excelled on. It may be an interpersonal issue that you've worked on and you've made some changes to better yourself, either the relationship, whether it's a love relationship or a family relationship, friend relationship, but it does look like you have made some big sweeping changes that have worked for you, and you're getting good kudos. You're getting recognition for that. So what crosses you is it does look like finances, that you have been organizing finances, trying to, release the things that aren't that important, go over everything that you need to go over, make cuts where you need to, but ultimately, it's been really healing for you and illuminating. This can be the abundance card. It is a 9. So it does look like whatever you have been doing with your finances, being a little bit more diligent, watching where you've been spending, where you can save, that is paying off for you. It is bringing a sense of calm, a lot more calm to you. And it doesn't look like you have any more money than you did before, but it does look like you're managing it better, you're allocating it better. And for many of you, this can be the inheritance card. I'm feeling more and more like it is readjusting your finances versus getting more in. It's just your money's working for you now, not against you, is what it feels like, Pisces. So you've been able to prioritize a little bit better. It's a little calmer. And also save yourself before you save others with what money you have put aside. The King of Pentacles is here. That's usually an exalted person. It is an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. It can mean somebody over the age of 30. It usually is someone over the age of 30. If it is someone under the age of 30, it's someone that has wisdom beyond their years. This is feeling money oriented too. You may be helping someone get their money straight, educating them a little bit, or taking over some financial obligation for them. This could be an aged person that you're helping along. It does feel like there's a reciprocation here. So it looks like in the past they have been able to help you, and now it's time for you to help them. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the money levels, but it does involve some type of money. So you may be helping them organize their money, or get prioritize, or help them pay their bills if it's an aged person, but someone that does not have the wherewithal anymore to keep track of that. So you are helping them as they have helped you in the past. The Wheel of Fortune here is round and round she goes, where she stops nobody knows kind of thing. Wheel of Fortune is great. Wheel of Fortune is kind of opens the doors to anything and everything in the world. So just pick something that you want to do. I'm feeling more and more Pisces, that this is on the line of your passion. There is something that you've kind of put on the back shelf, whether it was to raise kids or do the 9-to-5 jive or, take care of others, that you didn't have the time to really express yourself creatively. But this feels like it's time to pick up your art, pick up your writing, pick up your dancing. But it is a passion that you kind of let fall by the wayside. It is in the past position, so it feels like you are now incorporating that beautiful art, writing, passion, whatever it is. Could be dancing, could be healing arts, massage, whatever it is. It looks like you have picked up the gauntlet again, and whatever energy, it's ripe right now. Whatever energy you put into this, you will be paid back tenfold. Not necessarily financially, but emotionally. So it's something that sings to your heart that you've kind of put aside and have now picked up again and started incorporating into your life. So congratulations, Pisces. The 2 is here, and you have a couple of 2s. One is upside down here. And this is really finding your balance. Wands are action. So it does look like you have kind of hibernated for a little bit, Pisces. And now, with the on the Western Hemisphere, it is summer. So that kind of gives us permission to get out in the world and to do things and to travel and do the things that you want to do. The legacy key is lit up here. So you may be attending either a family reunion or doing something with family that you've wanted to do for a long time. But it looks like you've been looking at what is necessary in your life and what is not, what will bring you your smile and what will not, really finding the balance. And it does look like you have released something that was extremely important in your life for a long time, but that you've had to really turn your back on some of it. So it may be a relationship, whether it's a love relationship or your kids or a friend that has not been in line with you. But it does look like you have had to walk away from a situation that no longer serves you, no longer heals you. And you've had to reprioritize your life so you could look at the world and its entirety. I really see you looking at the world that it is much more than your little sleepy hamlet that you've made your world kind of small over the last maybe 10, 15 years. And you're broadening your awareness. You're broadening your vision to include the entire world and what you really want to do. Now is the opportunity and the time to really take a look at what works for you and what doesn't. It looks like something that has already begun, and to look at the world from a larger perspective. So that is what's happening now, Pisces. This is coming up. This is the 4. This is kind of an isolation card. So you may be withdrawing either from the family, from friends, and just kind of going into yourself or into the cave a little bit more and trying to figure things out. But don't stay in there too long, Pisces. You are needed out in the world with your fresh outlook and your lovely healing heart. So don't stay away too long, but you may need to go into solitude for a little bit. And this is kind of the isolation card. This isn't going to the mountain and, searching your heart. This is kind of hiding. So I encourage you to come out of that hibernation space. You are needed in the world and requested for your lovely personality and perspective. So don't stay in that cave too long, Pisces. The Queen of Swords is here at the bottom of things. The swords are an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. She can also stand for kind of a needy person that's kind of pulling on you. And she may have some cutting words. So, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's an air sign. It may mean just someone who's needy in your life and has kind of hung on you and not lived up to their fullest potential or their part of the agreement. They are very capable. They are in a queen's body. So it is now time for them to kind of pull away from you and fly on their own. They can do it. Even if they fall, they'll learn to pick themselves up. But it does look like you have been kind of the training wheels for someone for a while. And it's time to pull back your energy. It's really important that you heal yourself first and foremost. I know the theme the last couple of months has been make yourself important, and don't fix other people's problems. So this is kind of like a continuation of that you have done that work. It's now just kind of cutting people off and letting them fly or fall, basically letting them fly or fall. But there is a needy, it does feel like she's presenting as a woman. It can be an effeminate man, but it does feel more of a valence of a woman. But they're super, super needy, and no can be a complete sentence, capital N at the beginning of the sentence, period at the end of the O. So no, it doesn't mean I don't love you. No means just that doesn't feel comfortable or that won't work for me right now. So don't be afraid to say no and to set some boundaries. This person is very capable. They just don't trust in their own journey and their own gifts. So this, moving on to the 6, it does look like right across from here. So it does look like you're feeling like you need to float and protect yourself a little bit before you go out into the world, kind of gather yourself, which is kind of the isolation card here. This validates, but it does look like allowing others to row the boat for a minute. You have been rowing that boat for a long time. So it's okay to just float until you decide what direction you would like to go towards. But it does look like you have been the driving force in the family unit for a while, and it's okay to hand the reins over to somebody else. I don't see you staying in that place for very long, but it's super important that you get some separation from other people's dramas so you can figure out which direction you need to go that's the healthiest for you. Page of Cups is here. This can mean children, so these decisions that are being made now can affect children. Children are very resilient creatures, much more resilient than us adults. They can go with the flow, and they also see the truth of things even before we admit it as grown-ups. So if there is a decision to release a relationship of some kind or change a relationship that will affect children, they will go with the flow, and they have seen it coming for a long time. The Page of Cups can also be messages of love, marriage, engagement, or take an emotional risk, basically. So pay attention. Some messages may be coming to you, Pisces, and that can be through the mail, through verbal communication, through email, anything like that. So pay attention to those messages that are coming up. It doesn't look like it's a part of your awareness now, but it will be coming up in the month of July. But I'm also feeling that this big decision that's being made, whether it's adding people to the family, subtracting people to the family, some shift in power and the players will affect children, but children are very resilient. Justice card is right here. Usually that is the great equalizer. That's a great balance. It doesn't necessarily mean legal stuff. It can mean legal stuff. It can mean divorce. It can mean paying a ticket. It can mean doing time for something that you forgot to take care of. But it can be just as easy as the great equalizer, somebody speaking ill of you in community and coming back and apologizing, or that you were misrepresented and it has come to light that that was not the true representation. So justice can be anything from legal all the way to making amends emotionally for a wrong from the past. So it is a wrong that is righted, basically, is what the Justice card is. That is, looks like the main focus of July. And on the other side is the 2, and it is upside down. This can stand for lovers. This can stand for communication, interpersonal, or heart connection. It is upside down, and as I look at it upside down, the main thing that twinkles for me, or that I see, is this medical insignia. And when I ask Spirit what that means for you, Pisces, it does look like you need to pay some attention to your health. There is some health issues that are not been given the importance that they need to. So make sure, get those checkups, go to the doctor. If you got lumps, find out some answers, and don't let things go on the medical side. So it can be of the slightest thing all the way up to cancer. or a larger problem. But it does look like something you are aware of needs your attention on the medical side of things, that you have ignored it for a while and that it needs to be dealt with before it becomes a serious problem. So the Hangman is on the other side. Love this card. This is like looking at the world from a different perspective. It's the same world, it's the same town, it's the same people, but either your heart has softened or you've decided to take a different perspective on how life is. It's like playing chess or checkers and you're one side of the board, and then halfway through the game, somebody turns that board around. It's the same game, but it looks completely different to you. And it's kind of an aha moment. So it does look like, Pisces, that you've had a couple aha moments over the last couple of months, and that you're kind of putting those into gear, into use, and really changing the things that you're capable of changing of, and releasing the things that really aren't within your control. It's better for you mentally, it's better for you physically, because you know, if we hold stuff mentally, we create it as a dis-ease or a disease in our body. So it does look like you have embraced that and you are making those changes. So congratulations, Pisces, on really driving that train instead of letting the train drive over you. Okay, I'm going to throw a couple of cards for clarity. These are Doreen Virtue's past life cards, and she has things. Okay, trust and faith in the journey. That's pretty obvious. So it does look like you have upped your game of faith and you have more confidence in the journey, not so much on the control level, because that doesn't work. So trust, believe, and have faith in yourself and the journey. And the second one is angels. Call those angels, the ones that are in bodies and the ones that have passed over to the other side. They are here for us all the time. You know, your parents may not be on the planet, but they are always in your heart and they are always with you. And that includes anyone else that you have had karma with, that you have had an interpersonal relationship with, and those that have passed over to the other side. So please contact them, put them on your shoulder, allow them to protect and heal you if you feel that it is too much to do on your own. They are always here for you, Pisces.